Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's another show match here, but this is getting to the meat and potatoes of the event. We're getting closer and closer to the free-for-all, and the players we're going to be watching here are two of the greatest currently playing Age Mythology in the top of the map, playing as Shen-Nong. His name is Magic. In the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Noir. His name is Recon. The funkiness is upon us. We're on the map, trapped yet again. We couldn't have these players playing a whole bunch of different maps for the entirety of the event, so we will be seeing a couple of these maps getting repeated ever so slightly. So we'll see how things are going to go as both players deciding a little bit of Chinese action here. Does mean that they're not going to have any sort of ability to escape their fate of being trapped. They are going to have no ability to get out of here. They could come over and chop the wood down and then get out of there pretty quickly, which will give access to all of these gold mines around the outsides of the map, the food, an extra town center as well. So there is some advantage there. There is potentially a possibility of a great flood to knock the trees down as well. That's another option. But nonetheless, two incredibly good players on maps that they probably have never seen before. Magic and well, okay. Recon was literally asking me the rules for this show match before the game. Like, I have the timestamp here when he was like, so what happens? Wait, what did he say? So yeah, it was at 8:48 p.m. He asked me, what are the rules again? So that's how we know that yep, this is good. All right, nonetheless, so that was like two hours ago. So he was thinking about this 2 hours ago. All right, Magic on the other hand, he's just woken up and getting about his day. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. But we are going to be seeing both players going through how to kick this game off. They both want to get that earth wall in, lock up some of the map, make their life a little bit easy. No one's going through that Chi Yo or the Zhenu. So it's going to be fun. We'll see what they're going to go for. But two defensive gods. It might be a far second town center here. I know Recon, I was talking to him the other day about his Chronos. And I was like, so if you remember back to Clash of the Immortals, I was like, so why did you go to town center against Mr. and then lose in 6 minutes and then do exactly the same strategy again? Now, it worked better in the second time, but why did you do it twice? And he's like, well, that's the only strategy I know. So I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys just going with what they know, even on a map that's completely different. It's completely different. So we'll see how he goes. We do have the Chong-Chi. Oh, the Chong-Chi is coming out onto the other. Wait. What? I think he's just going to run around the very outside and try and enter from the back. That's got to be the way. As Magic says, no, I'm going right through the middle as the Pioneers are out, ready to get some damage done. Resource situation here. Magic has got himself kind of close to the town center, swapping the villages around over here. Same too for Recon. As both players need to make a considerable amount of Pioneers. The thing is, right, these Pioneers, when both players go through how to, there's not really a whole lot you can do with them. The whole idea of it is just to say, I got some units to drop a town center. That's kind of all you can really do. The reason for that is because of Earth Wall. If you try and be aggressive with the Pioneers against Earth Wall, they get stuck in there and they die. Now you can outplay. Recon hasn't thought about this. This guy, he's in here. He's got 500 IQ and he's better than all of you in Twitch chat put together. Recon is here. He's got look at him go. And look, we got the town center up for Magic. 2 town centers in the center of the map. Let's go. Alrighty. Magic. Wait, will he spot it? I mean, he's got to know what's going on, right? He's got to know what's going on. He's scouting. He's like, where is he? Now, this could get completely denied if Magic had 2 Cheong-Chis right now to be here. But too little, too late. The Cheong-Chi is waiting to defend. Recon's town center will be completed. Magic will spot it, and he's going to be like, no! We do have a cheeky little earth wall in onto this side, and it looks like the Pioneers are doing a little bit of damage to it. I don't really know. At the very least, it'll survive with a couple of HP, maybe. No, it looks like it might go down. The Pioneers are going to be able to escape here. Nice job. Okay, so where to next, though? So this is the big advantage that Recon has got now. Is that he can get himself a 3rd town center. Just here. So Magic kind of needs to deny that in a way. Oh, look, this guy's... How is he stuck here? Poor guy. The poor guy. He's just a pioneer. He's just a man. He's just a bloke. He's got a wife and kids, most likely. He doesn't deserve to be stuck on a earth wall. Anyways. Town center up. Recon's going to get himself some cows over here. There's not a whole lot of resources on this town center. It's kind of a garbage town center, to be honest. It's kind of a garbage town center. Nonetheless. Military camp coming up. Units coming through here. Earth wall could come down for Recon, but he's not going to be utilizing it just yet. He's got to be a little bit careful because, I mean, if there is a Cheong-Chi here, then it's just going to kill off the wall straight away. Now, Magic is running around the map with his own Cheong-Chi out the side here. But nonetheless, potential damage to come through. He sees it. The peasants moving into the side of the map. No reaction just yet. The Cheong-Chi can come over here. He's trying to get back. Magic microing. He's almost sniped the village. No, the villager doesn't. Oh, he gets it. Damage dealt. Cheong-Chi coming back in for Recon as he's going to try and get a little bit of damage in. One smack. Another smack. Nope. Anyways. Magic now looking to charge in here. Seeing what he can find. We'll be able to spot some villagers here as well. Whole bunch of pioneers out in the center of the map with the javelineers also causing problems. I mean, the thing is though, like, Magic is going to be able to break through this forest so quickly. Like, it's fine to get out onto the outside, but he's going to be out here as well really, really quickly with the double Quaofus. Like, it's not going to take him that long. Like, it probably like 15 minutes into the game and he'll be able to get out to the outside. Maybe even earlier. Maybe like 11 minutes into the game. I don't know. Nice little control here from Magic, but the Pioneer numbers incredibly big here from Recon. As Magic pulls back into his earth wall and one Cheong-Chi goes down. Now you can just Great Flood the trees as well. That's another option. Great Flood an army into your base while killing off the trees in the same process. It's another option. But yeah, right now the real advantage that Recon has got is that he's got access to all these resources out on this side of the map. But in reality, his town center is god awful. His town center is god awful. There's Rush Shoal coming through for Magic. And where to next? Oh. A little bit of damage as Magic has to pull off with these Water Buffalo. There's plenty of food down the bottom of the map here as well that he might be able to go and grab. Magic just going to pull up and try and get himself onto this wood line here as well. If he breaks through here, he's got food, he's got berries, he's got gold, he's got everything he needs outside of this little trapped area. As the earth wall going down. A significant amount of pressure from Recon. Recon going through Goldmang. Pretty much every Civ has got something they can do then. Right? Like, Kronos can time shift outside. He can't move any villagers out there, but he can time shift his buildings out to harass. Noir, obviously, clay peasants. Norse, forest fire. Greek, underworld. Egyptian, shifting sands. So this map is perfectly balanced. For at least for every Civ with one god. If you want to be avoiding the trapped nature of the map. Nonetheless, Recon charging forward, kind of getting trapped there, or tricked there, I guess, as the Tao Wu does get a big amount of damage, and Recon can charge forward. We see another, or a first earth wall here, and an attempt to sort of just get some sort of a retreat here. Having this gold mine is big. He does have the gold mine on the outside that he can just go to, so no problems there as well. The Tao Wu getting sniped down by all those pioneers. There's so many pioneers here. I just got a hefty amount of javelins. Both players do, actually. There's now the White Horse Cavalry to come into the fray here. Nice defensive play from Recon. Because where to next is the big question. Magic is macroing up nicely, getting all the units out he needs. Recon, on the other hand, a huge amount of food. He can sell that food and try... Mythic Age is quite far away. He's got the ballet. He does... spend a lot of those resources quickly as the village is now moving up here to grab the gold mine. Nice the siege crossbow. Gonna clean up this earth wall and all the other good stuff down onto the bottom side of the map. You've got Magic trying to break through this wall. Where to next is the big question. These siege crossbows are going to be very painful to deal with. Very, very painful. Right now is probably the moment where Recon's got the most advantage here, because he can utilize the forest protection on this position here. Right? And then siege away at this town center of Magic, and Magic's going to have to try and fight it. And he doesn't really have anything for it. He does have Fey Beast, but what's that going to do with all of those pioneers? I mean, he can drop it onto the villages on the back here, potentially. He's looking for it, the White Horse Cavalry, to come through. This could be a lot of damage. Also, it could be not very much damage at all as he drops them down. Remember, these Fey Beasts, they've had a very, very large negative multiplier versus villagers, as they do manage to mostly escape. A hefty amount of kills, though, as the White Horse Cavalry onto this position, killing these villagers here as well. In onto the main base, though. The town center goes down as Recon's push incredibly... Look at the units here for Recon. He's got so much stuff. As Magic, on the other hand, was 150 population to 190. As Magic here retreats back out past his earth wall. And the earth walls are going to get taken out incredibly quickly as well by those Tao Wu. And now, well, Magic's on one town center. He can try and get up to 180-ish population with fortified town centers. He could go and take this town center as well if that's something he wants to try for. With this army composition of Siege Crossbow, Pioneer, Javelineer, White Horse Cavalry, Tao Wu is looking incredibly difficult for Magic to deal with, as this game is slowly falling out of control for Magic in this one. The mass Springhold meta is back. Kind of. I mean, the Springholds do, or the Siege Crossbows do actually do a hefty amount of damage. They do 13.3 pierce damage per second. But for a 3 population unit, that's not really that much. Is it 3 pop or 4 pop? 3 pop. And now Magic pulling back into his main base. But he's just got so much pushing power for Recon right now. Siege Crossbow, Tao Wu charging in. All of these units here for Magic falling. Third town center getting grabbed for Recon while this is all going on. And it looks like Magic is not going to be able to continue in this game any longer. As Recon has managed to clean up the talent center down to 0 talent centers. Magic's still got gold on this side. He's got a watchtower and everything over there, but it looks like, mark it onto this side. Going to try and grab the talent center back over here. No, he's not. I don't know what he's doing. He's just grabbing food. Still building units, but there's just not much he can do moving forward in this game. Over onto this side, the Terracotta Riders coming through. That's kind of funny. You don't see this very often. 6.5 speed Terracotta Riders coming through. Do they get boosted by that upgrade? No. Wait, is that upgrade in? It's not. Never mind. Maybe they do. I don't know. As I think Magic has got not much he can do now any longer. The town center over here, Recon says, this one's mine. And Magic in that moment does tap out as Recon comes in with the prep, so to speak. The last minute prep for the map Trapped. Nuwa with the villagers' shenanigans to grab this outside town center. It was a god-awful town center, but it did allow him to throw Magic off his game to some degree. And that push here was beautiful. Siege crossbows, pioneers, javelineers. Just seemed like it all just worked for him. And Magic just could not hold on. Nonetheless, we'll move into the next game here. See what they're going to pick and what all the good stuff is. All right, we're into game number 2 in the top of the map, playing as Poseidon. His name is Magic. And in the left-hand corner of the map, Recon playing as Ra. The map is Gorge. I've already said this once in this whole day of shenanigans, the kit and caboodle, all the good stuff. Gorge is a map that is straight out of Age of Empires 4. Fantastic map, a lovely map, a wonderful map. But it is out of Age of Empires 4. Both of these players have had their fair share of experience playing Age of Empires 4, so they should know this map well and truly in a big way. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deer changes a lot in terms of the builds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Both players have got 6 deer. There are a ton of berries over here, so if Recon wanted to go for a very heavy monument opening, he could have done it. He could have just gone onto the berries and it would have been fairly similar. But he goes up to the deers. This has got 150 food less total. Just that little bit different. Like those tiny little bit of changes that do require players to have to think just a little bit more. Which I know I talk to legacy players quite a lot, right? We're a very passionate bunch. And we talk about things like in Legacy, every time you spawned in onto a map, you kind of had to think about what you needed to do to sort out your early game to get to the classical age. Like there were maps like Alfheim where you started with two caribou or something, 2 deer, and then you have to go to a second hunt straight away. And it was really, really difficult to get that down. Now, I mean, on the converse, what I say to that is I say, well, realistically, you just have to have like 4 different build orders to play on all the maps. You need to have a low hunt build order. You need to have a 0 hunt build order, a low hunt build order, and a medium hunt build order, and a high hunt build order. But nonetheless, you did have to think about which one to use. Now, this map here, I don't think much changes in the archaic age, but it will change things going into the classical age a little bit, I think. But we do have Magic. He gets the lure, brings a lot of food into his main base, so he's not going to have to think too hard. And we do have Recon. He's got himself the berries, so he's not going to have to think too hard. After all the stuff that I just went through, it turns out that nothing really changes for these two gods. As Hermes coming through for Magic. And I imagine we're going to see Bast from Recon. Yeah, no surprises there. Recon and his Bast. He loves a good Bast. Who doesn't love a good Bast? It works so, so nicely. It's Magic charging him with his Catoscopos. Looking for a little something over here. Up onto the left corner here, we've got ourselves Sharon's Obel. Over here, we've got that Wu Hao Bow of Huang Di. Always nice. Arrows of the Alpha over here as well, boosting up those towers. And finally, Tail of Cerberus to make those myth units just that little bit more potent. Recon getting himself another monument to the soldiers as the priest here taking some smacks as Theseus coming in. Magic is doing the animation cancel here. The Katoskopos kind of getting in his way. Trying to get into the front here. Trying to block as he can. It's a tiny little... Can he get the kill? Can he get it? It's gotta be tough. It's so close. And he gets it! He gets the priest! The micro! Look at the moves! Look at the moves! What a play from Magic. He's charging it to try and take down the Sphinx. A barracks coming up with all the villagers in the world here from Recon. He needs that barracks up. He wants it up. He gets it up. And that means the spearmen will be to follow. But Magic is already on the aggression. We see the priest getting sent back. Centaur shooting in, getting the arrows in. The villagers pulling for the tower for the time being as the Atalanta is now in. Now, Recon might see this and say, all right, time to send the Sphinx into the main base of Magic. As he's going after villagers over here. There's a low HP villager there. Recon's Pharaoh getting a little bit out of position there as the Centaur on the back dodges some projectiles, but takes a big hit of damage there. There's Magic. So much pressure, so much damage. He's grabbing himself a town center behind this as well. As Recon has to get Spearman out. And this is exactly what he needs to get all this damage done. As more Spearmen, it might be time to back off here for Magic. As his Katoskopos falls. Gets the special attack onto the Spearman, trying to take that one out. Not quite able to, as the Priest's a little bit too scary. But he's forcing out so many units here. Forcing out so many units here. Recon's in trouble. He doesn't get a town center. He's forced into this Spearman play. Magic's economy is going to be absolutely stonking. He's getting himself more Centaur out. And where to next? As the Pharaoh moves back over onto the monument to the soldiers. We see a third monument coming up for Recon now. Magic's pressure has done a hefty amount of damage. And now I guess all Magic needs to do is jump Heroic Age, get an extra hero out, get Curse out, and all of a sudden the entirety of this sort of aggression will, or classical fight, or whatever you want to call it, is going to find itself very, very weak here. Very, very weak. More Centaur also to come through. Do we see an armory? No armory just yet. I mean, actually, he's got 81 on... He's got 3 on the temple. He's making Centaur. Centaur are good because it's going to be able to stop the units from moving across the map. Also sniping down Sphinx and stuff like that. There's 3 Sphinx out. Recon now ready to move across the map. As these Centaur coming forward. They are on that attack move. Yep, there they go. A little bit of damage onto the Sphinx. Gets a couple of shots. They do a huge amount of damage here to those myth units. Now they've got 3x bonus versus them. As he's charging forward, the priests are going to come through. They are very low on the range, so you can easily space them. And even when they do get a shot up, they're only doing a tiny bit of damage. Magic's just going to keep on pumping these Centaur out for the time being. I'd be kind of surprised if Magic decides to go for any Hippias right now. You can probably just go straight in onto Hoplites. But nonetheless, Centaur moving up to the top left of the map. Searching around. He's going to look to get a hit onto those gold villagers in the main base. As we've got 3 military academies now down for Magic. He sees that there's no real... doesn't get the villager kill. He sees that there's no real town center up for Recon. And he says, okay, I've got to defend. Gold mines are going to be a little tricky here. There is one quite close over here, and there's one that's on the top side that's going to be a nice little cheeky up and down maneuver sort of situation. As Recon is setting up his vision for the moment. The unit's here searching. Recon looking for villagers to kill, but Magic is well and truly in his base. Got everything set up that he needs to get set up. Now getting himself Sylvan Lore. Love that, because it's going to give him even more of an opportunity here to space everything. The Sphinx do manage to get on top of the Centaur, however, and that's going to be... Wow, he gets caught out in a big way. 1 Centaur down, 2 Centaur down. Great control from Recon as he manages to clean those up. As now Magic going to try and chase these ones down. It should really not be happening there, but a fantastic catch from Recon. There's now Dionysus to come through. Medium infantry, hoplites on the way. Gold still coming in here for Magic. Can he set up on a gold mine at some point is a big question. I mean, the gold up here is the one that I think he's going to want to go for. The bottom side of the map has got all of those other gold mines, but if it gets split in half, it's going to be very equal. Marker coming up for Magic at the moment. Any sort of trade will be not really what he's going for, more just for the trade of a market macro, so to speak. As the obelisk coming up all across the map, can Magic hold here at this point? Let's take a quick little stock of villagers. Magic 56. Recon, if I could select it without everything going wrong, 40. So it's a huge villager advantage for Magic here. But he needs to convert it into a huge military advantage as well, which he's not close to at this point. It's 123 population to 84. Obelisk still getting spammed up all over the place. Everyone to this corner. The hoplites are going to be attempting to deny vision. One priest goes down, but the hoplite's going to fall as well. These units here can sneak off into the corner and try and keep themselves alive. Recon might go hunting for those. He splits up his spearmen all over the place. It's Magic now going to attempt to come back. He will get spotted by the Sphinx, as, I mean, I think the Atalanta, can it take out any of these is the big question. It does move pretty quickly, but there's just so many Sphinx here. He's going for it. The Centaur coming in over here with the help of a Hydra as well. This will be a hefty amount of damage, but he's not, doesn't target down the right when he pulls back those Centaur there. Is the Hypaspis going after some of the spearmen at this point. More Hypaspis to come through. Sniping a couple more units, and as it does look like now, Recon realizes he's probably going to pull away. Probably has to make a move into either Camel Riders or Chariot Archers here. And Magic at this point can say, all right, I'm coming over. Let me get my fortress. Let me get my gold mine. And we're in a good spot. Meanwhile, Recon setting up in the center of the map. He's got that Petsukos. He's got all the spearmen. He's got everything here. He's got that Migdol stronghold coming up at the bottom of the map. But he is struggling for resources, really. Population-wise, he's in front, but he's slowly losing that pop edge. And this Greek army is going to be really, really powerful moving forward here. It's this rock flapping around looking for potentially a locust or something. I guess he wants to use the locust onto the army of Magic. When Magic uses bronze, it's a bit of a trade. If you sweep that locust across, it's doing divine damage from memory, so it doesn't get affected by the bronze. So it's kind of like it's not quite a counter to bronze, but it's an equalizing factor in a fight. Bronze versus locust, I guess. I'm not actually sure how well it actually works, but nonetheless. That's Recon's army. Full Spearman, Sphinx, Camel Rider. Where to next is the big question. Heavy infantry is in. Magic throwing buildings down all over the place, getting himself up some stables, potentially for, my guess would be Prodromus here. So he's got an answer for the Camel Rider raids. That's this rock here. 49 HP in a dream. A Locust. Still no upgrade here from Magic. He needs this one. He needs this one pretty quick. But the rock here will fall to the town center, so it's not going to matter. A Locust onto the farms, though. As the villagers do retreat away. This is huge value. This is something that I was doing before Locust got buffed. It was like, man, I can just Locust farms. It's still a huge amount of resources. But they immediately come back up, and I don't think it's that many resources at 14 minutes into the game, but still gets the damage done as the Spearman moving up to the top side of the map. We're seeing Magic now deciding it's time for him to attempt some sort of damage here, finding the villagers out of position over here. One villager down, up onto the top side. We've got the Harako Sphinx to come through. There's no defense here for Magic, but he does have a fortress to run into. This many Sphinx can basically one-bang all these villagers if they're in the right spot, but Magic notices it, doesn't lose any villagers, gets into the fortress. He's going to be good. He's retreating away. The Sphinx going to town over there. The heroes are just so far away as the Spearmen searching for raids into the main base, going after villagers. This is where Recon shines best. The fortress will be going down here. The villagers trying to repair it back up, as the villagers all have to pull back. The army's so out of position here. As more villagers to go down. Atalanta coming in for a little bit of a defense as the militia coming in as well into the main base. These spearmen, they have to somehow get out of here though. He gets a hefty amount of damage done, but he might get trapped. He might lose a huge amount on the centaur on the chase. A town center on this position going up for Recon. The obelisks over here, what are they doing? He's not going to kill them off just yet. Still trying to get the full trap here. The speed advantage for Recon is he's got the 5-speed spearman. He's making a break for this little point here. It looks like he's probably going to be able to get there. Magic trying to pull all the way in front, but it looks like it's too much for him. He's not going to be able to get the trap. Recon gets out of there. Great amount of damage. We see the fortress, double fortress coming up for Magic at the moment to try and hold on to this position. As he does manage to at least kill off a couple of spearmen on the retreat path, but this means all the units are out of position yet again. It might be worth it for a ceasefire here. The fortress 4 seconds from completion. He will get militia for it if it finishes. He doesn't finish it, but he gets the fortress up onto this side. Eclipse drop down. Ceasefire immediately by Magic. There's going to be 30 seconds left of it afterwards, but Bronze is going to be able to be used to defend after this, as he's going to be able to get his army all into position to defend. He should be okay. Artemis clicked up for Magic now. He's on the way to the Mythic Age. Still doesn't have his temple. Can build that one back up and get himself out of Chimera. Would be nice. But the advantage that Recon has here is speed. And he knows it's speed. The villagers immediately retreating away. Magic, his spidey sense is tingling. He knows that this is a weakness. He's pulling. He doesn't run for the town center, however. The unit's trying to chase after these incredibly fast units. 6.6 speed. The villagers pulling back into the town center here. The Sphinx have got themselves 16.8 crush, 27 hack. Meanwhile, up on this side, there's still a handful of units to defend. Magic Centaur out kind of in the middle. Oh, he's got to turn around and fake take this fight, though. The villager's getting targeted down. Pulls into the fortress. Eclipse now finished. But Recon's speed here on this map has been absolutely key. Camel Riders up here as a couple of villagers making their way over. Magic going to lose a handful of villagers on that side as the Sphinx to pull back. But what is this Earthquake going to bring for Magic? Part of me feels like Hephaestus would have been a... Wait, let me have a look. Is that true? Yeah, Hephaestus would have been an insanely profitable, really, really good Mythic Age choice here for Magic. Look at all the priests in as well. These priests are now very powerful at 17 range. As the Centaur pulling back, the units for Magic are sort of all getting out of position. There's Magic now coming in to try and defend himself. Can he hold on here is the big question. As the Priests come getting huge damage onto the center because of that range from Centaur Polemark from Sylvan Lore. Because of that range, they're able to keep themselves in a good little spot. Meanwhile, over here, random Hydra getting chased down by all of those units to kill that one off. Mythic Age is now in. How far away is this Raft from Recon? Very far away as the Pazukos gets cleaned up. Centaur still getting pulled away. It's Earthquake into the main base, getting dropped down. Town Center here looks like it will be falling. The houses gonna go down as well. As the Town Center is finished. Sphinx getting cleaned up. Bronze gets clicked up over here as Magic says, it's time to go. I've got the powerful army. Let me take your town center out. Let me take this corner of the map as well. As Recon's army, he says he can't take this fight. I'm just going to leave. Can't win it. Need to build my houses. Trying to build them up over here, but this is going to take him quite some time. Town center in the main base going to go back up as well. As Magic doesn't get that decisive victory in this fight just yet. What's the difference in military pop here is a big question. 130 to 103. And that's because the villager differential is gigantic, right? 86 to 63. 20 villagers in the advantage for Magic. His economy is absolutely gigantic here. Archery Rangers coming up all over the place here for Magic. As champion infantry is in. Making those archers does make sense here. Getting into the poison arrows and all the good stuff. As units coming up to the top side trying to deny this gold mine. The fortress a little bit too late here. And a couple of villagers will go down. This is the type of raid that Recon absolutely needs. He needs this little chip damage. He needs to take these villagers out. He needs to get value all across the map. But Magic can just move over onto this gold mine. He doesn't need to risk it up the top side of the map. He can grab this town center for himself and take all those gold mines. But then Recon is going to move over onto the left side and grab all the other gold mines. So Recon's going to be able to continue along in this game. As one Chimera coming up here, is this going to be enough to deny it, to kill all these? 700 HP? I don't think it is, right? Maybe it is. 3x versus myth units. It does come through. Uses that special. Gets a little bit of damage. Bugs out. Stops moving. Living the dream. Now into the middle of the map here. Recon is now looking for some attacks in several different locations. He's got 3 groups of units here at the moment. Magic's army sort of sitting around with its thumbs twiddling for the moment. And this is going to allow Recon to just walk in to the main base and just get huge amounts of damage done. As Magic tries to garrison, he's got nothing. He can't garrison all the villagers into the town center. You can only put 25 in there. You can run for the tower. Huge damage coming through. The trade route has started, however, for Magic. It's very, very powerful. He would prefer it in the top corner of the map, obviously, but he's going to have so much eco here. As the villagers on the top here starting to get taken down. Can he get over here and defend or not is the big question. His army, slow but powerful. Town center going down won't be the end of the world here because he's getting huge amounts of militia from it as well. But he's also grabbing for masons. He's got fortified town centers. Centaur spacing nicely here as the army to retreat out over onto this side. Meanwhile, Recon now says, all right, it's time to attack somewhere else. I'm not going to attack you in one place ever in this game, he says. My army is in so many different spots and you're just going to chase it around? Great, that's what we want. There's a Centaur getting a little bit of damage in before retreating away. The walls do manage to complete up here, and this will slow down this attack on the top side. No fortress on this gold mine. This is still a point of contention, really. Magic does have a trade route, though, so if he does lose this position, he's still got a little bit going for himself. As the Polyphemus to come through. Smacking the Sphinx. Look at him go! 39 HP. One smack. As Polyphemus trying to get over here and trying to deal with this, but not going to be able to do so. Up onto the top side of the map, Magic is starting to realize, hang on, there's all this gold up here. Let me kill all these villagers. Recon not going to the mythic age just yet. Wait, no, he's trying to. He's got 614 gold. He's got the, sorry, food. He doesn't have the gold. He doesn't have the food to get to the mythic age. He's got the gold to go to the mythic age. With the pressure on this side getting dealt with by some Peltas. We do have some stone walls up as well to try and keep this position alive for a little bit longer as the damage is happening over here. As the villagers up onto this top side looking for the town center, sneaking up there. Magic might not notice that. Oh, these villagers having a bit of an issue as they're going to now get taken out. Peltas here need to be microed because the priest, the great positioning from Recon, honestly. Priest on the front means the Peltas do nothing unless they're microed. As Polyphemus is back out, running in. All he's got to do is kill off the Sphinx. As it's down. Whoop, 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 whoop. What? Hello there, Mr. Sphinx. What was going on there? As all this gets dealt with, he does notice the town center. As the centaur come around to snipe those down. Taking a look at the villager differential. 99 to 52. Magic's domination in this game is confirmed, but Recon is still trying to bring himself into this game. A decisive fight is all he's looking for, but I don't think at this point it's going to happen. So Hoplites getting some good damage done. Magic coming through now with the rest of his army. He's probably fine to just take a suboptimal fight at this point. He's got so much economy. Look at it. Absolutely insane. The only thing he's missing at this point, in my opinion, is like having 10 military buildings of each type so he can just spam out whatever he wants. There's the Hoplites coming through here, sniping villagers down. Going to be retreating out. We will see Recon's Migdol stronghold to get taken down. But meanwhile, back up to the top side. And every single time, Recon seems to find some villagers here. Every single time. Peltas on this position, getting some good damage onto those chariot archers. That's Recon's Migdol stronghold. Getting sniped down. Chariot archers trying to snipe off all the hoplites, but off into the corner here. Another Migdol to protect the berries on that corner. But like I said, Magic can just take these sort of suboptimal trades into the main base. It looks like Recon wants to go yet again. Can circle around here, go after these villagers, try and take them all out. And it looks like in that moment, Recon realizes, he sees the trade route, he sees everything going on, he realizes how far behind he is, and he decides to throw in the towel. He still has some gold coming in, he can't get to the Mythic Age, too far behind. A really, really nice defense here from Magic. This was a really fun game. Well played to both these guys. They're showing exactly what the top level of Age Mythology looks like. Great control from Recon. He's just everywhere using that speed, but Magic's defense, good decision making. Loved that he's like, hang on, I don't need to come over here and defend. Let me just go and kill you. You can kill me a little bit. I'll kill you a little bit. And he just takes out this position, picks off so many villagers, and that's just the win for him. So now, 1-1. We've got ourselves a series, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move into the next one and see what happens. Alrighty, we're back with game number 3. As in the left-hand corner of the map, we've got Magic playing as Zeus with the old school portrait, because that's what we do. On the other side of the map, we've got Recon playing with Hades with the new styles, with the new school portrait, because I like it. And we're back with the Lakeside. It's Pants map. I did this before, so I'm going to do it again. I think this is funny. Is it the case that the Age of Empires 2 maps, they're like a little square, like this at the bottom? So it literally does look like a Pants map. Anyways. This map is absolutely beautiful. The water is beautiful. The map layout is really cool. We've got back gold mines here as well, so there's not going to be any opportunities for crazy gold starves. One idea would be for one of the players to get security of the front of their opponent's base somehow, and then an underworld onto the gold mine to lock them off completely, if that would be the style of the strategy or whatever. But Recon scouting around, spots the gold mine on this side and says, great, that's fantastic. He's got that one. He doesn't really know what's happening on his side of the map though. But the way these maps do work is generally if one player has got a gold mine behind their base, then you've got a gold mine behind your base. If one player has got a gold mine in front of their base, you've got a gold mine in front of your base. They're not mirrored exactly, but they are pretty kind of, they're as competitive as they can possibly be. As we'll see exactly what these guys are going to go for. Now, again, I've said it already once, but there has been a big change now into the water meta. Per scene in the classical age will mean that there's going to be a lot more action, I would say, in these sorts of games. People are going to be wanting to fight for water because they're going to immediately be able to get benefit out of it. Now, this map does look like it plays a little bit like Mediterranean. It's kind of a close water position here, kind of like Midgard, but there's only one lake, and it's very, very close to your opponent. Very, very close to your opponent. So, I imagine we're going to see some naval fighting here. Now, we've already seen it once, and we saw a really interesting game of Nullas versus Mosca here. I imagine things will look a little bit different. I haven't really seen Recon on water before. I know Recon's got really good control, but I've never seen him like with the like small army microing. Magic, I've seen him do it a bunch of times on Legacy, but I've never seen Recon on water maps. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to be able to bring here and what sort of tricks he's got up his sleeve with the boats. I do know that there's some really funky stuff with formations and stuff on the water that can be used to help you control your boats a little bit better and get them to behave in ways that they might not be able to behave in normally. So, for example, if you've got juggernauts and you've got archer ships and you want to pull your archer ships back, you actually have to select the trireme and the juggernauts and move them such that the triremes will phase through the juggernauts and then pull the trireme back. So it's yeah, there's some tricks in order to get like really, really good control here. But the sky's the limit. And I know it's new. We haven't really seen a whole lot of water fights in Retold because of the way that the sort of balance was dictating how things would go. It's no point in doing it. But now I think it is. So it'll be interesting to see the players getting better and better at this sort of micro shenanigans and what can be sort of achieved. But then again, I've got no idea if these players even know that this stuff exists or not. And yeah, we'll see. As Magic already starting to make himself out some trireme. He does hit the classical age a little bit faster. How many fishing ships? 11 versus 9. So Recon goes a little bit later. He does have a couple of villagers still on the temple. He wants to grab himself this technology, obviously. Vault of Erebus, very, very good. As the trireme pushing forward, going to start taking down fishing ships. Oop, and Magic is going hard. So one thing that bolt onto the trireme. Oh, it's not the bolt he probably wanted though. As he is doing the shoot and scoot. These triremes do take quite a while to actually reload, so you can make quite a distance with them if you want to animation cancel just a little bit. This Magic got a lot of food in the bank. Over here, Recon, what's he going for? I'm not sure. One idea here on like these maps on water, now that you have per scene, not that it's going to be a factor here or not, or whatever, but one idea would be to build a market and be looking to sell stuff. But Magic at the moment, he's actually going for a heroic age. He is showing a market down, but he is going for a heroic age here really, really quickly. As the trireme on the retreat does end up going down. Dionysus will come through. On the other side here, Recon, he's going to have the ability. Wait, he's already got it. Never mind. I'm not going to say he's got the ability. He's already got it. He's got himself Persine. His food is going to skyrocket. He's got a huge amount of time to have it. Whereas Magic is going to have to build out a bunch of Skylar to try and take this water back. Now, one thing here for Recon would be, as soon as he sees this, to just go, oh, time to spam out a bunch of Trireme and get this technology to take out those Skylar. But what Magic needs to know is, all right, well, if that's the case, I got to get out some Juggernauts to deal with the Trireme and have the Skylar dealing with everything else. Which that then means we need to see some Pentaconda from Recon. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going into this. As Magic builds just the one ship out so far, still trying to pump more things here as a couple of Pentacondas going to be wandering forward, but great control from Recon here thus far. Just Magic trying to retreat away and dodge all of these projectiles, not quite able to, and we do indeed see the Mythic, the heroic fleet coming through. Getting that preemptively as well is kind of interesting because it does train really quickly. But nonetheless, a couple of Skylar to be coming through here, starting to charge forward. And let's see exactly how good this Skylar does against this huge amount of bonus damage. Magic's getting out those extra Skylar now. He's got 3 of them to charge forward. It will be a tricky thing for Recon to deal with as he's pulling back right now, sniping these units down. Bronze comes down, Restoration as well. As Recon has to pull all the way back underneath his docks. Still no extra, well, there is one extra head on this Skylar for the time being. The Juggernaut's doing huge damage over here. As will it be enough? It's so much armor. 82% restoration coming through for Recon to try and hold this position here. But it looks like the Skylar, they're getting taken down slowly. But their heads are coming through. The Juggernauts for Magic doing huge amounts of damage. 2 Skylar now down. Or 1 Skylar down. The second Skylar also falling. But the Juggernauts are in. Getting great damages. Now Recon has to get himself out some Pentaconta. Recon, on the other hand, he's got himself the food. He can go to the heroic gauge himself here, but he's going to have to sacrifice quite a lot here, as it looks like Magic may have managed to crack Recon's defenses here for the time being. As the Triremes to come through. Recon is still building these units out. Magic probably needs to get some more Triremes to defend against this, but nonetheless, the Juggernauts can clean everything up. Magic still doesn't have himself Persine, but he's going to be able to get Persine and Sultan Forest straight away if he wins this water. Now, on the flip side here, Recon's got all the food in the world, but he does not have that gold just yet to click up. He's so close to it. Which god is he going to go for? Apollo. Apollo makes sense. Going to be able to get a big attack happening here. As Magic swings around the back of his Juggernaut's going to be going for the dock. There's more docks getting queued up at the top. Recon has got to make some sort of a decision here. 2 more docks. He either has to take a big fight on the water. He doesn't have that much favor in the bank to make all the Skylar out. Or he's got to try and get a huge amount of damage done on land. Because Magic's getting himself Sultan Fora. He will be getting Sultan Fora very, very quickly here. He can actually afford it right here, right now. As the dock's coming back up onto the top. Trireme to come back in here. This dock looks like it'll finish as well, but in no time, these Skylar with 2 heads, they get so much damage, and it looks like that's going to get taken out. Another dock is up. What can Recon do next? He can go for a Ford Town Center. He can start trying to make that happen. A whole bunch of Pentacontas do end up coming out here, as they're going to be looking for a little bit of damage. Recon's getting himself some more Trireme here, as the Skylar are almost taken out. The Pentaconta managed to come through. They do a hefty amount of damage to these Skylar, now Recon does manage to get out of here. The dock so close to being finished off. Magic not really paying attention up here. He's getting a fortress over onto this side. He's got the time he needs to get himself some more units out, but he doesn't have the docks here. starting up a couple of trireme. He's now the one who has to deal with the Skylar. He's the one who has to deal with the Skylar now. As Magic did invest into that Salt Amphora, but it looks like Recon is back onto this position, getting all the docks up. Magic has a handful of units to start moving across the map, but Recon is on this gold mine. It's going to be a tough one for him to go and attack. One idea here would be to sneak a transport ship and get over here. Mr. Pegasus scouting around. We see a fortress coming through for Recon. Magic getting himself out some Pentaconta here. Doesn't have that mythic fleet, heroic fleet just yet. It's the fishing ship dropping out of here. Magic comes in to get his own docks back up. As the hoplites, they say, all right, let's come over and we'll kill off the docks. Why not? But these Skylar are starting to look very, very scary now. 3 heads on this one, 2 heads on this one, plus their Hades Skylar as well. There's one dock down. Magic going to try and pull out of here. He's now actually walled in, it looks like. Or maybe he can get out this way. There's a cheeky little Manticore over here he's going to try and take out. Meanwhile, the Pentacontas to come through. We do see a Zom into the main base as the Manticore getting chased down. Not quite able to kill it. Actually, the Heracles is a zoomer now. Look at him go. 5 speed in a dream. Will he be able to take it out? No, shit, yeah, maybe. Manticore. No, it lives. 11 HP. As Magic is now out with all of the Pentaconta in the world. And Recon says, all right, time for a whole bunch of trireme. This is the most wild water fight I think I've ever seen. It's so back and forth. But Magic is running Pentaconta into trireme. As the hoplites coming back in, will they be able to overpower all these trireme or not is the big question. There's so many of them. The trireme have got 50% hack armor, but the Pentaconta have got 10% pierce armor. They're both doing probably a similar amount of damage to each other, actually. There's a Manticore on this position, getting good damage done. Magic going to be trying to retreat away. Wait, is he still building Pentaconta? He's literally still building Pentaconta. Please explain. Magic, build something else. The heavy trireme are doing too well here. He pulls back. Now he starts up the Juggernauts. Meanwhile, the Pegasus coming through for Recon. He's going to be looking for some sort of an underworld attack. He's only got a handful of units, but that might be a heavy amount of damage, though, as the village is moving up onto this position to grab another cheeky little gold mine. Katoskabos versus Katoskabos fight on this one, as that does go in the favor of the blue Katoskabos. Recon here. See some villagers. There's nothing that he really needs to attack just yet. Now we've got a whole bunch of heavy Pentacontas coming out. The Skylar also for Recon. A little bit of everything. As Magic now has to deal with Pentaconta Trireme when he's going for Juggernaut Pentaconta. It's going to be a tough one for him, but he does have the dock defense here, which is going to be huge to take out the enemy heavy Pentaconta, and that's an upgrade. These guys are now doing huge damage. As you do have some Trireme coming out as well. I think Recon may have made his way through to win this water. However, does it really matter is the big question at this point. Does it really matter? Villager differential 56. 56 to 57. It's so close here. Magic getting himself out. Skylar, it looks like. Nope, he cancels them all. He says, all right, no more water fighting. I don't care anymore. Time to move forward. If he can secure this town center, that's going to be gigantic. He's going for 3 town centers now for himself. Artemis, however, is on the way for Recon. Earthquake plus an underworld? Is that the idea here? As the hoplites coming through. Magic, on the other hand, only the one villager on favor at the moment, so not going to be able to spam those god powers just yet. There's a hoplite sneaking into the main base, going to look for some sort of villager kills. And here he comes. It's going to be a little bit of damage here onto Recon. Recon not paying attention for the time being. One villager down. Two villagers down. The villagers turning around and fighting here. Decides better against that one pretty quickly. As a whole bunch of villagers go down. And now Magic probably just needs to run. He's about to get trapped in here. And he makes the right decision, as is normally the case. He gets out of there. He's got the speedy hoplites. And he can dictate the pace that way. 3 town centers versus 1 town center. But fishing economy in the back for Recon. Magic here. Probably going to look to go to the Mythic Age himself now as well. He's so close to it. Just needs a little bit more resources, but which town center do you put it into is the big question. He's going into the main one. Dangerous because Artemis is on the way. But we know that. He doesn't know that. But that being said, if you see all these archers and you see the fact that your opponent's got water control, then you have to know he's got a lot of food income as well. There's the Pegasus searching up here. Villagers all over the map, grabbing resources. You have to ignore the score a little bit because a lot of this score is based on these military units being alive and they don't matter. They don't really do anything. They're going to get deleted as well at some point, right? Obviously, the Mythic Age is going to be a big deal as well. But like I said, I think you don't. I think you got to ignore it a little bit. Population differential, 175 for Recon though. As the Earthquake does get dropped into the main base, Magic immediately changes up to the top town center. He's going to lose this one. No problems for him, but he needs that Lightning Storm. Check if he has oracles. True. Wait. Big brain! Retreating back. He's going to be finding which town center to go to. The Underworld comes in onto this position. There are a hefty amount of units here for Magic. Now Recon's going to look up to the top. He's going to see that Hera coming through, but does he have enough units here? Peltast, Hoplites retreating away from those. The Hypaspis going after the town center. Magic needs to take this fight up here. Is he going to be able to do it or not is the big question. As the town center is going down, Magic's Mythic Age is not going to be coming in anytime soon here. He does have this town center as well, but denied. What's he going to do? He's going forward, trying to take out the Underworld Passage. Recon is all over him right now. As what else can Magic do? Is he going to the Mythic Age for the other town center? No, he's decided against it. Population differential is too big. Hoplites, Peltas coming through. Champion, infantry on the way. Aegis Shield, Levy, Shafts of Plague. Recon has got all the advantage right now. Pushing up to the top side. Idle villagers for Magic. Full panic mode. He will be able to take out the Underworld Passage. Villagers going down over here. Is Magic going to get his town center back up into the main base? He does have the gold on the bottom here. Half his villagers onto the wood, unfortunately. I don't think he wants them to be there, but doing it for the moment nonetheless. Villager differential 68 to 58. Recon still... I mean, he's got so many fishing ships that he's in front on villager count, but nonetheless, another town center to go down. As what can Magic do? He just can't defend himself here, it looks like. Town center coming back over onto this side. Magic is playing a little bit of a ring around the rosy here. Clicks up through Hera yet again. That's the fortress to come down. So this is what it looks like for Recon. You can see no units getting built. You can see this. You can see the Odysseus coming out of the fortress. On the bottom here. What else can he see? I don't know. Odysseus just about to finish up here, but it's not going to come out. Town center on the top coming up for Magic. Now, I think Magic's going to be able to get himself to that Mythic Age. But the damage has been done. Recon is out on the map. He's got himself 3 town centers. Like I always say, you don't have to win the game right now. But put things in place that give you the advantage. And that's what Recon's done here. He might get Lightning Storm. He might lose an army. But look at the economy. His economy is now gigantic. He's going to have 3 town centers. And he's going to be in a good spot moving forward. Toxotes to come raid the fishing ships on the bottom here. Not fishing ships? What am I saying? Toxotes to come raid the villages on the bottom. Getting pushed off all the gold mines. There's gold at the top, gold over here. This 11 HP Manticore, I think it's the same one. It's down to 1 HP now. Look at it go. Meanwhile, random 1 villager just over here, just hanging out, because why not? And Recon's going to do what Recon does best. Split up his army, cause pressure everywhere. And Magic, he's not going to be able to get off this Lightning Storm anytime soon. There's a Toxotes going down here. Recon charging in onto this position. Toxotes all over the place. Magic's getting this position back. He's got all the villages on this gold mine now. A 4th town center coming up for Recon as well. And the Lightning Storm gets dropped down onto this spot here. But Recon immediately retreating away. Are all the units going to go down? Is he going to be able to escape? Half of them do. These ones running straight up to the top side here. Running into the army of Magic, however. And you take a look at the population. He dropped a tiny bit down to 200 here. Magic's at 170 of 188. The hoplites do manage to come through here. Going to try and take out the town center and do everything else. But there's already units in the defense. And Magic has to pull back. And in that moment, the chaos is over. But what a game. What an absolute game. The water fight was actually kind of insane. How back and forth that one. It went from Magic winning, then Recon winning, then Magic winning, then Recon winning, into Recon winning the water. But the big thing here for Recon was Oracle. Oracle from Recon literally gave him 100% chance to win this game. Because he clicks on the town center, he sees Harry, goes, all right, delete that one. He clicks up here, he goes, oh, you're going through that one? No worries, let's just underworld over here, delete that one. And all of a sudden, Magic can't get his Lightning Storm off. And he can't just hold this 1 town center push from Recon. And it's just... Maybe Magic should have stayed 3 town centers and pumped units out, got all his upgrades, rather than rushing that Mythic Age. Generally, when you go 3 town centers on water, that's the better play. But obviously, he wasn't to know. I wasn't to know. Great play from Recon. Really, really fun game here. We'll move into the next one and see what map Magic is going to pick. Alrighty, moving into game number 4. It's 2-1 for Recon. Magic here, he is picking up Noir. And we are going to be seeing the Chronos for Recon. Now, the map is Soko Madness. We've seen this one before once. Very, very aggressive map. Incredibly aggressive map. Tiny map. All the gold kind of spawns all over the place. You can get spawns on the outside. You can get spawns on the inside. We see a hefty amount. We've got 3 gold mines apiece. Recon was joking with me that he only knows 1 build with Chronos. So, I wonder if he's got a different build in this matchup or if his plan is the same. Because you're getting a town center up, it secures some gold mines, it secures some stuff, and maybe the best play is to go for the gold mine, or go for the town center, and maybe the next best play is to fight really heavily in the heroic age. So I guess we'll wait and see. Magic at the moment, he gets himself just the right amount of gold in. Now he's going to be grabbing himself that food, or that wood, excuse me, and he's going to be going for this bad boy over here. Again, a low amount of deers. Wait, hold on. Is there enough? I don't even know. I think there might be. I can't remember how many deers you need to get an advance time off. As the Quailfu Chieftain's coming through. I'm sure Magic is going to be wanting to advance here. And he does as he's going up. There he goes. Okay, so no problems. Haltu, the god of choice, with the hero Quailfu on the front. This guy is so good to just defend yourself against this early Promethean shenanigans. Running in with 2 Prometheans, and you see a Quailfu hero, you best be running because he's going to kill them off really, really quickly. Oh. Villagers over here for Magic, kind of getting a little bit distracted. The silo takes quite a while to build if you don't put any villagers on it for Noir. This Magic grabbing a cheeky little goat over here before spotting the Oracle. Gonna try and take that one off and herd those goats all the way back home, but he might need the help here. There's a Pioneer to come through. And Recon now, a couple of Prometheans out, retreating back to his main base. A counter barracks coming up really quickly with the double citizens. How 2 going to be in as the Chongqi is through. And this is all going to come down to like how well Magic can defend against these Terma. Because if he can't, then life is going to get really tough. But he does have the option of that big fat wall around his base. He also has the option of Terma spammaging in as the Pioneer trying to get out of here. The Chongqi comes through and says, hello there, Sailor. I would love to fight you. There is going to be potential for a Valor here. So that Chongqi just does so much damage to those Terma. But Recon defends nicely. He will be able to heroize the Terma as he perfectly times that one. And the Chongqi ends up falling down. Tries to escape, not able to do so. 1 down. Magic retreating back into his base now. Does have himself up the military camp. Going to be making some Javelineers here as he's pulling back into his main base. Another Chongqi to come through as the earth wall gets dropped down. Immediately, Recon needs to pull back. He's got the Prometheans out to take the wall down, so he's completely fine. That's the Terma immediately going after some more Deuterinos here. Quailfu Chieftain wanders forward, tries to get involved, but Recon's out of here, and he's going to be taking this earth wall down beautifully here. There's a military camp coming up, and Magic now just going to be going into Dow Swordsman, Javelineers, and all the other good stuff. Prometheans. More Prometheans on the way. Magic here. I mean, he's got all these Chongqi. These are the scary things. But there are a handful of Hero Terma here that are also quite scary as well. As Magic coming through trying to take them out. He's trying to finish off this temple. Says, get out of here. I've got the answers at the moment. And Recon has to pull back. Has to respect a little bit about what's going on here. More buildings coming down for Magic as he's going to be ready to start pumping out some halberdiers here, which are going to be really effective against those Terma as he charges forward. Recon's got to respect it a little bit. As the temple falls, Caraballister on the way. Caraballister hero as well as the Javelineers coming forward. Got to try and take out those heroes as the Chongqis go down. It's a lot of firepower for Magic's army that's going to be falling here as he does take a good trade, retreats back, keeps his units alive. He's got no way to heal them up at the moment though, which is the big challenge. I don't even think I guess you can go for the forest protection and try and heal them up then as an idea. Magic a little bit housed at the moment, starting to fly around with the Chongqi, just scouting. Recon underneath this one. Getting a little bit of damage off. Realistically, you can run around the outside. If you want to get into your opponent's space, no problems. Just go around the long way. As he comes forward, he's kind of playing with fire here. They are speedy at 5. They are speedy at 5 speed, but they take so long to get into the air that I don't. He's gonna pull up. That's one dead Cheongchi. He does manage to get away with the other two, but risky play here as the units from Magic now moving out into the middle of the map. The hero Karabalster getting tiny bits of damage there. As Recon has to hide all of those oracles in the main base. One of the reasons why maybe Atlantean's a little bit of a tough god or tough civ to play on this map is that there's no space. There's no space for oracles. So you're not going to get that crazy favor income that you would normally be used to. There's Cheongchi coming back in. Another one onto this side, trying to hit multiple different positions here. More Cheongchi to come through as Magic is just pumping those bad boys out. Now Recon does spot this. His army's coming through. Looks like Magic's just using these to scout around for the time being. Over here, he will be able to spot a villager. Drops down, but immediately Recon retreating out here. As Magic going to pop back over into this little position here. Oh, he sees the Oracle, but the hero units spot it, and it's almost down. Slowly getting kills. An Oracle snipe there from the Cheongchi. Nice play. Great defense thus far, though, from Recon. He's only lost a very small amount of stuff to these Cheongchis. And every time one of these gets a... one of these gets any value, it's sort of like paying for itself because he's not getting Qualfu. As Magic now wandering forward, ready to put pressure onto this gold mine. This game could be over in an instant here on this map because it's just so tiny. Just Magic coming back in here. Units coming through. Terma, Promethean, Karabalster, all the good stuff. Pioneers on the way. How many does he have? He's got 3 Pioneers. Compare that over to the 8 heroes that Recon's got. Those Prometheans might not seem like there's many of them, but there's more coming through. Population-wise, 96 for Recon. Magic's 105. Villager differential, 42 to 38. And Magic's going for a town center here. He sees the town center. He sees how good this is for this gold mine. Pushing forward ever so slightly. Doesn't want to take a fight, but he just wants to jockey for position. Distracting while the town center goes up. 30 seconds he needs to buy right now. But it's a big, big time for Recon here to get things done. As he's charging into the main base. The gold mine here. Open season to take that out. As the Terma getting huge damage. The Karabalster on the back also going to town on these. The Cheongchi, though, however, they are killing off those Prometheans nicely into the main base. There's also a raid going on, looking for oracles and villages and things like that. But it's looking like the army here of Magic is falling. As Magic gets the town center up, but he has lost all of his military for it. Recon doesn't spot it for the time being. He's getting awfully close to getting over there and seeing he's got no pushing potential to take it down. As the Cheongchi over here does end up getting sniped. Recon, plenty of resources in the bank. Magic trying to get units out. He's got only 2... He's got a handful of villagers on that gold mine over there. He needs a lot more to get those units back out. But there's going to be a Hyperion coming through really shortly. I'm surprised to see no Rhea, which has been seen as very, very popular here. However, the Hyperion makes sense because there's so many Javelineers coming in. But the Javelineers shoot at 1.5 seconds. So while they are hurting themselves a lot, they're doing less damage to themselves than, say, Slingers would. Because they're doing, yeah, they attack a little faster. So you're getting less projectiles off, I guess. Potentially. I'm not sure if that's exactly how math works. temporal chaos coming through for Recon. He's going to be wanting to spam these towers forward. I kind of love it. Trying to get control of everything. The walls coming up over here. Houses coming down onto this position as well. Locking this gold mine off for the time being. Recon's got his eyes on this position. Has he scout? He does know there's a town center over here. But the towers coming up all over the place just to deny any sort of other gold mine expeditions. Also potentially, I mean, Fate Beast is an option, but I don't think Magic will go for that. Gold Mag makes a lot more sense in this situation. Now he's clicking up. There's a tower coming through for Recon. Still no what? Oh, now Watchtowers is also coming through. Trying to snipe down the Promethean. He does pick that one off. Villagers getting pulled back in an attempt to hold on to this position. Remember, there's also deconstruction, so even if Magic gets up his power lake, he's got to use the forest protection onto a town center and not onto a building that can get deconstructed. Otherwise, it's just going to waste the god power. There's Magic trying to hold here. Recon still full sending with his army. Going to break through the wall. Try and get in here. Magic does still have 600 gold in his main base, so if he does need to pull off of this, he can make that work. But most importantly, like, forest protection on this position to hold, that's going to be very, very key. Military camp coming up onto the back. You have to imagine that Magic will try and put up a ballet here, but going over onto this side, there's 2 watchtowers already in. As forest protection does get dropped down, but immediately gets deconstructed. That forest protection is not going to be doing anything. And there goes the forest protection. Big, big mistake from Magic. Big mistake. I don't know why he wanted to use it there. He had the town center. As the Javelin is retreating back into the town center. Magic coming over here will shank down those towers. Villagers do get a bonus versus towers, so they take them down pretty quickly. With deconstruction being down, there is a potential for Magic to rotate over onto this side, get his ballet, and be okay. And he's going to be doing just that. He does have enough favor for another creation if he wants to. Drop that down into the corner of a map somewhere and be okay. Deconstruction is going to be 133 seconds away as Magic can snipe down some units as they move across here. Great little defensive maneuver from Magic. However, there's one thing that Magic's got to be worried about, which is going to be a Mythic Age coming from Recon. But also just the army of Recon as well. As his Javelineers are moving away really slowly with that Tower Wu there, getting caught up in the mess. Meanwhile, onto the top side of the map, the Destroyer's popping out, ready to take down this town center. We see, as this is going on, Recon says, time for a town center myself. I don't think Magic can hold against this for the time being. He's going to have to sack the position, though the Tower Wu does run in, get some fun, push those units away a little bit. The town center falls. Bit of a villager check at the moment. 64 to 65. It's a very equal game in terms of economy, but Recon's got all the map control. These Destroyers are going to be the scary unit. How do you beat them? Dow Swordsman maybe at this point? There's another ballet to come up onto this backside. Recon still doesn't have that deconstruction up, but nonetheless. White Horse Archers to come through, getting some damage done. A desperate attempt to try and hold here for Magic. As Recon gets the palace up over onto this position. Military camps going down. How many gold mines does each player have at the moment? That was the big question. 2 gold mines over here. Recon going to move forward and try and get this town center. Recon's also grabbing this gold mine here. So every little bit of advantage here matters. Are we going to see any sort of Mythic Age? Not just yet. Still trying to get all the food in that he possibly can. As the White Horse Cavalry managed to find some citizens. This is buying Magic a lot of time here. Picking off these units is huge. As now Recon says, well, it's probably time to go for an attack if you're going to be killing my villagers. 190 pop versus 155 pop, though. As the Earth Wall gets dropped down, that's a lot of favor there for Magic to be spending onto this position. Recon doesn't seem to even care. As a deconstruction onto this other ballet, Magic pulling the villagers over here to try and rebuild this one straight away. As the White Horse Cavalry, they're very powerful. They're very good against those destroyers here. Great control on the back there, distracting the Terma beautifully. But now Recon paying attention, ready to start taking those javelins down. Magic, however, needs to target the right units, and it looks like his army is just not able to break through here. There's more ballets coming down for Magic, desperately trying to hold on. But Recon is just getting further and further ahead in this game. This ballet is not going to be getting finished with that many destroyers on it, immediately erasing that one as... Oh, hello there. Hello there, deconstruction. What are you doing? Oh, is it finished? Okay, the deconstruction's finished. Okay. Villagers popping out, ready to start shanking away as Magic trying desperately to hold on in this game. The ballet will be falling here, however. Even with all of these villagers repairing it up, those destroyers are too powerful. And Magic looks like he may be falling in this game. And that's going to be GG. And Recon takes it 3-1. Some incredibly solid gameplay here. Really, really fun game. Very back and forth here. I think Magic kind of made a mistake going for the Talent Center in that moment. I think if he kept on jockeying and didn't actually take a fight, I don't know if that was possible or not, but maybe he would have been okay. But the fact he took the fight and lost all of his units while getting the Talent Center up was so bad for him. He just wasn't able to recover from that position. He did make a very, very nice attempt at it. Almost managed to make it work, but Recon too solid, too powerful, and gets the dub. Anyways, GG. Well played to Recon. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, follow button. If you're new to the stream, follow that one and stuff like that. That'd be nice. We'll see you in the next one.